if you have expectations, then that means you can have failed expectations. If you have failed expectations and accomplishing expectations keeps you up, then failed expectations drop you down. So it's fine, but there is the effect of holding on to expectations, and that's the up and down. And if you want to get out of the up and down, then you want to move away from the expectations. And it's not so black and white, right? It's not like expectations on, expectations off. It's more of just, if we are here, we are really, really attached to the expectation, and this determines how we feel about things. And then we just want to move towards this direction to where expectations doesn't affect us as much. And the more we move to this direction, the less we fluctuate in our state, the less we fluctuate in our emotion. And the more we move here towards being attached to our expectations, the more we're fluctuating to the outcome of our expectations. And so if somebody wants to be really over here, but they don't want to fluctuate, you know what would happen is they would only do things that they're really good at, because they don't want to fluctuate. So how can you not fluctuate and still have expectations all the time and still always be high? Well, you got to always do things that you're good at. Don't ever do things you're not good at, because you're going to create a low outcome. So that means you can't venture into new things. You don't want to, because you know you're not good at it, because it's new. You never tried it. And you try to control as much things as possible, so you always create the best outcome. You don't want to leave things to chance. No, that would be silly. You may have a bad outcome. And a bad outcome, will drop you down because you're so close to this side, right? So then, is there something wrong with that life? No, there's nothing wrong with that life, but that life has a certain characteristic about it. This person would want to control so many outcomes, would not want to try a lot of new things. Because if they try new things and you can't get good at new things just by trying it, right? You're going to be bad at it until you get good at it, right? Until you do it enough. So if somebody's trying new things and they're okay, they feel okay, then that means they're not totally on this side. They're on somewhere around here, right? But if, let's say, and that's why it's not so black and white. The more we move to this side that we're not attached to expectations, the less we fluctuate, the more centered we are. So maybe what happens is that there are certain things that maybe a person is attached to more than others. That would be something that's more realistic. But the more that we let go, if anything in our life that we are attached to, that part of our life has a lot of fluctuation. So let's say if it's relationship. Let's say if it's relationship, I'm really attached to having a relationship be an outcome in this way and this way. This it needs to happen in a certain way. And if it doesn't happen a certain way, if I don't get treated a certain way, it's going to be really bothering for me. So then now my relationship would be fluctuating up and down. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But let's say when it comes to business, I'm okay. I can kind of be okay. So I'm more on this end when it comes to business. So then when it comes to business, everything kind of goes more smoother. But in relationships, more rocky. Right? And so I think the more that we move towards this direction in any aspect of our life, the more consistent it is, and the more stable our emotions are, and the less stress we'll have in that area of our life.